It's a chance to stay alive, right? This is a little bit of hope for them, but G2 certainly have their work cut out from their perspective. This is not an easy game by any means, but they're certainly dark horses. It's something you have to say about G2 that they do thrive in these moments. You look at that roster, there's a couple of names that always stand out to me. Nuki, okay, let's say he has a day. Let's say he has this one day where you get those performances. If it be on the Rays, be it on any other agent, this guy can deliver. Ovova, how clutch this man can be on occasion, and you can do the same for the roster. But across the board, I look at Mech and I think, well, every single one of them, right? They are just the absolute best at times. However, already first blood drawn, Chronicle removed, and this is off the back of a default. That's a perfect beginning. So a bit of a weird read here. You've got contact on A, you've got contact on B long. This is going to be quite tricky to read into for Mech.
I think on the back of the drone, they shouldn't really, and now actually on the back of the contact here, that should pull a player towards A. Redgar and Defo survive for the time being, but 4 D2 members on the other side of this.
Toxins going up.
Got to keep it clean on the way in, though. Rotation finally coming in, and that's perfect from Mixwell. Good start for him. Going to crack things open, once on one side and once on the other. So trade out comes in, but the site's really under control already. Jados has to relinquish control, but he couldn't make it out in time. Leaving just down to Nats in a 1v4 presented, and it's unpleasant by all accounts in G2. Sharp, clean work.
On the other side, but unfortunately, it's too much for Defo and Redguard to handle here. Numbers really playing to D2's favor.
30 seconds
That's just an all-round clean pistol round, to be honest with you, on the back of a very slow approach.
And just having early success like they did is always going to be a huge kick in the butt. And if this kind of boosts Mixwell to have a good performance, now that's something I could really keep my eye toward. Now, Shados going to try and find the information here early on. Yeah, that's a key indicator, and that could then play in Chronicle potentially off the back, as now they know once again they're presented with the same conundrum. Okay, well, we know that Mixwell's over here somewhere. Not sure if they got the confirmation on the second as well. Well, Chronicle's going to be well aware it's not Mixwell alone anymore. Yeah. Has to relinquish and kind of fall away from that, respect the early work. And I like this probing approach. It's not overly committed from G2, but they're doing that early fact-finding.
Again, now they will look to progress towards A site. Sorry, they're all going to drop. Actually, going to reveal Defo up on the top, but down to 18 HP now. Going to
plays in
look to play in Redgar on the lower level. A frenzy though, so could be overwhelmed pretty quickly. And Meadow doesn't even give him a chance.
No, little bit of a tag, but the heal's going to come in. And again, you're looking at chip damage. You're looking at ways to maybe work down this other roster, obviously, but G2 keeping themselves as a pack, not really allowing opportunities to be picked apart by the Sheriffs or the Frenzies, or even a classic or two, obviously the better pistol. So far, Meadow, good work from them. Going to keep them at arm's length. Ovova just cleaning up, and Shados now. Last one standing. Going to take a couple bodies on the way down, but that's about it. 2 survive.
An awful lot behind this purchase.
And a switch up on early contact, nothing too surprising as now the rifles have come through, but Chronicle leaning a little bit more aggressively further forward, looking for maybe the one and done and TP away. Mixwell will be the one to check on it, so Chronicle will be Mixwell here, and Chronicle wins it. Doesn't need to back away yet either, so sharp beginnings for Chronicle. And willing to stick around a little further. Has Shados on site. More confirmation of attendance for Chronicle. That's so beautiful. He's done his warm-up today. Ovova has broken through now. So keep in mind that Defo is on an island. If they could identify that, that could be a problem. Or they allow just Ovova to be a nuisance. Be a bit of an issue in the backlines. Pause, hit the brakes, see if Ovova can do any more work. Slowly build back towards A. But if they lose another player on that A site, I feel like this attack may have been already halted from G2. Now, Redgar, he's been put on the case. It's his duty with Chronicle to just deal with Ovova. But keep in mind, Ovova's position alone has pulled 2 players out of position. So you got to now look at the other side of the pendulum swing, which would be Meadow, and it'll be, I think, Nuki joining him. So these two need to now make that progress towards the site. But you can see that Mech's already read this. They're well aware. And rotation gets called again. Again, Ovova is being such a problem here.
Now that he's dealt with, Chronicle and Shados now can commit to this. Shados will find the first. Meadow actually going to find Chronicle as well.
I got the spike.
Last man standing. Finds himself in a 1v3. 10 seconds left here. I mean, if he can find it, he can potentially get the plant for Redgar.
Presence that can be a problem, so really well handled by Mech. Oh, going to be popped. Mixwell now having to do a lot of work here if he wants to be the one to instigate something, considering the rest of the purchase. And Chronicle's feeling himself. You can see the confidence already brimming, and I like him utilizing Chamber as such. And Hoodie potentially first on the chopping block, and decides to back away now, which is probably the right choice. Could have been overwhelmed.
This is interesting. Shados has got his ult here to remove Mixwell's tour de force, but he is playing a little deep here. I mean, Mixwell's pushed up, but if it does get employed here, Chronicle going to open things up on the hoodie regardless. A big shock dart actually going to force them away on 410.
Screen down.
And they're being funneled. You just saw the smoke coming through as well. That's from Nats. A nice reactive play, a little bit more ability to do that. Mixwell, though, leading the pack, going to connect towards Shados. Chronicle still alive on the back of the site. I guess that does remove the one player that could really be a problem to him, but Nats still wants to try and punish. Rookie finds Redgar. Hold on, that's not clean from Nats. That's a problem. G2 digging in their heels to this round. Defo now presented a 1v3. It's uncomfortable. The ult goes in. Why not? You want to secure this round. And Meadow with the perfect timing. Finding Defo, and it just fell apart like a house of cards.
Sightlines, he's willing to go forward,
there.
and he's rewarded for it. This pick is huge.
And if we're seeing G2 have this like pack mentality, it's such a weird throwaway phrase, but it really does hold weight in this. If they have that sort of approach, that scrappy style that can really be quite a tonic almost to some teams. I look at Mech and I worry stylistically how they match up if G2 can keep this up. Now again, I don't ever want to give discredit to Mech because I think everyone knows these are arguably one of the most reliable teams, consistent teams. They play to a very high standard, but Chronicle now going to be put to challenge already.
You should run.
Issues can be presented, doesn't quite find the connection once he sticks around on this, has to finally fall away, but it wasn't clean. He did get a tag on Hoodie, but that's not enough.
Behind this lockdown now. Chronicle gets detained off it as well. That's going to slow things down in the retake here. Still 5v5. You've got so much time and space to set up here. You already control the top of 410, and I'm not even sure how Mech breaks through on this. It's got to be Chronicle to find something.
Has to at least start something here. And again, Evova's found Defo, shot and a half towards Nuki.
Wow.
And now can they springboard? Can they somehow spiral off the back? Can they add that pressure? Not really. Chronicle again still doing the damage. Flash comes through towards 410. Does catch one, but already got the kill prior to it popping. And Nats can't do much about it. It's 4-1. G2, let's kind of take pause for thought here while we have this second.
Kind of scrap, right? They're so good, and in particular, you look towards those thrifty rounds. I mean, we've talked about G2 so much recently in terms of no round is unwinnable for them, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a different look. Defo on the op. Spots at least one, maybe two on the back of that, but a big early intention now understood. And Defo trying to deal with all the utility being put to work. Mixwell might be his first real challenge if he actually decides to go for it. No. And respecting at least the counter utility invested for now.
I'm worried for Hoodie because once that smoke drops, actually Defo's got clear line of sight with the information confirmed on the back and now the recon bolt as well. So Defo can post up on this. Nat's going to put another smoke down there to just prevent utility now being invested to clear Defo out, and he will be noted on the back of that shot.
Be a nice round, mid-round call coming out from G2. How to work around this up, and that's exactly how. G2 3 back-to-back despite spares. Nats is still lingering around though, so that's the least claim of over on the way, but they did get a spike plant and a 4-man swing. They don't allow Nats any room to work. As Chronicle, the 1v3 ain't gonna be easy. You can see, I imagine G2 will sit a little deeper now. They don't need to overly challenge. They don't need to overly push and give him opportunity. And the time just ticking away, and Chronicle might just be backing away from this. But we look at G2 and we could discuss the mid-round calling, and their mid-round adaptation doesn't become an issue, but their identifying of that op being now in Defo's hand and how they approached that site after noting that seemed very diligent.
It did, and it's almost like they're waiting out Nats' smokes, right? We were waiting for that kind of cool-down period where they do have a window of opportunity. On the back of the recon bolt as well, I think that's the green light.